Darla Couch with Anderson TV, here today to talk with some very special people about a very important topic. Let me make some introductions first, and then we'll get started on our conversation. Mecca Andrews with the Anderson Black Expo, and then we have David Ayers as the spokesman for Indiana Black Expo. So Mecca, tell us a little bit first about your role with the Anderson Black Expo this year.
I am the tobacco coordinator, and what I do is I go out throughout the community, special events and activities, and educate the Black community about the dangers and effects of smoking and what it does to our youth, what it does to our adults, and how we can prevent these things from happening to us. So education is the forefront of what I do for Anderson Black Expo.
And David, that leads us to you.
Matters of the Heart is a program from Indiana Black Expo. It was funded through the Department of Health, and it's a statewide campaign intended to encourage African American adults and youth to stop using tobacco, or in the case of younger folks, to never start. Matters of the Heart refers to the fact that tobacco use doesn't only affect the person that's using tobacco, but their family, their friends, and they're always concerned about people, and that's why it strikes at matters of the heart.
You have a video, is that correct, that we're going to show in just a few minutes that really has a very touching story about the effects of tobacco use in an African American family. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. When we started this campaign about 2 years ago, we identified 3 families who were profoundly affected by tobacco use. In one case in particular, a young man, Xavier Winfield, and his mother, Yolanda, were adversely affected when Xavier's father died as a result of a massive stroke caused by tobacco use. And sadly, the only person that was home with him at the time was his 11-year-old son, Xavier. Fast forward about 3 years, Xavier and Yolanda now go around and they have shared their story, this captured in this video, about what Matters of the Heart means to them and has meant to them. And in doing so, they are spreading that word about the dangers of tobacco use, how it affected them, and how hopefully they can avoid experiencing that kind of tragedy within their own home. The goal of this campaign is ultimately that as people are ready to stop using tobacco, is to call the Indiana Tobacco Quit Line. It's free service. It's 1-800-QUIT-NOW. 1-800-QUIT-NOW is open around the clock, and it is designed to provide quit coaches who will help you with strategies on how you can quit using tobacco. It's not only available on a toll-free line, but you can do it online and even by text. And it gives you valuable advice to let you know that someone is there to help you stop using tobacco. They know what it's like. This is a very powerful addiction.
Absolutely.
And it adversely affects African Americans from the standpoint of heart disease, stroke, and other tragic and fatal health outcomes that 1-800-QUIT-NOW, the Indiana Tobacco Quit Line, helps in reaching a Matters of the Heart for their family. Primarily, if you were to combine all of the major causes of death that are out there, cancer, accidents, all these different categories, if you will, of fatalities, if you were to combine those, the impact of death caused by tobacco would outstrip all of that. It is a terrible
Right.
impact, and it also goes to the issue of how tobacco products are marketed to African Americans
That's right.
specifically, and there are also other national commercials out there that have spoken to that it is just a tremendous burden that is placed on people at the expense of their families, their friends, by the tobacco industry.
Very good. Watch this video that we're going to show in just a moment and call 1-800-QUIT-NOW should you have an issue and need assistance.
Yolanda, tell us your story and what happened with your husband and what was his name?
William. He began smoking late teens, early 20s, was headed to the Cincinnati Jazz Festival My husband worked at night, so we passed each other that morning, Saturday morning, and by the time we got off the exit, hour and a half later, you know, Xavier's calling me saying something's wrong with Daddy. You know, he fell off the couch, he's on the floor. I helped him get 911 there, the ambulance, and by the time I made it back home, he had a massive stroke. They had him in an induced coma. And, you know, the next day we were taking him off life support, so
You are kidding.
just that quick.